It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Now from the banks of Lake Erie, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the rookie from Arkansas, Cam Little, ready to get us started. And off we go from Cleveland. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. 2nd and 13. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From their own 40 to the other 40, the gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Sanders into the hands of Cedric Tillman. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. That time a 6-play drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 27. And this is going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Open man, that's Munt, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go play action with Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
The slot man in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On the counter, ETN. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Lawrence to throw. He'll get that underneath ETN. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Now Sanders throwing to start the drive. And this is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now a 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5.
Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Off the play fake. Sanders under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack. So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot. You just made my job a little tougher because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
On play action, Lawrence. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The linebacker, Jordan Hicks, flying in there for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
3rd down and 10. They go play action now. Lawrence able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So he missed his 1st attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Browns set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple. On the ground, it's Ford. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. This is Ford. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you got the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. Oh, nice move. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They run with Ford. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Ford. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And Woods has it complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Operating from the gun. Sanders. Quick slant here to Woods. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
On first down, it's Ford, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. A 10-play drive that time, and the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he lost the football.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, the big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Looking long for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Brian Thomas.
74 yards.
And the Jaguars have got it back to within a score.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown pass on the last drive, his 2nd of this first half, as he'll try again on first down here. They will start this drive with Ford. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Back to throw now on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line.
The Jags offense and Brian Thomas getting set to take over once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Now that certainly solidifies how to attack this 2-minute drill right before the half. I don't think they were going to try and run out the clock, but now after that big play, their thoughts are certainly of trying to score and get some points before the half.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now Lawrence.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Sanders throwing to start the drive. This is caught. It's Woods. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Sanders. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Sanders.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line.
Well, the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
To throw is Sanders. A final shot before break. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Draw play, ETN.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
The Browns offense and their quarterback ready to go once more.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. Sanders now throwing to start the drive. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll try the left side. Ford. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Thomas will come in motion right.
Lawrence will throw.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
ETN up the middle.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This is 2nd and 8. ETN once more.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. DeAndre Carter returning it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll try the left side. It's 4, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They'll run on first down. 4.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Here's 2nd and 8. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Back to throw. Sanders right back to Njoku. It'll be a gain of 5 at its 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Now Sanders. From the gun, he'll throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Michael Woods, 32 yards. And the Browns will add to their 4th quarter lead. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll look to ETN to start things out. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Now Lawrence to throw. And Thomas has it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Screen play. Here's Etienne.
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on third down, you might possibly see some pressure.
So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And out across midfield down to the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
Thomas has got it, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now Lawrence.
He's got Thomas yet again, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
That's Ronnie Hickman who is there for the tackle.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Lawrence to throw.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Jags are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Etienne diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Throw left side complete. That's Ford. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily You pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Up the middle they go. It's Ford.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important third down.
The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Off play action. Sanders. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Off the play fake. Sanders. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Browns send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And now a high kick, but he hit it straight up. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. This is 1st and 10. Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Throwing now, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Back to throw, Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Oh, and how important could that play be in determining a winner here? That moves the ball all the way to the other side of the field, and now you're one completion away from at least getting into field goal range to tie things up. But with the time remaining, they've still got a shot to win this as well.
Here's Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
He's back to throw. Buying time to his left.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The dog pound barking as loud as they can here. 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime because neither one got an advantage today.
So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
On second down, ETN once more. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3.
First throw of overtime for Trevor Lawrence.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now Lawrence. That is caught. He's into space past the 25.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that certainly changes things here because they're in field goal range already, but a field goal, that's not what they're looking for now, not after that big play right here in overtime.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
And they'll run with ETN.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Now remember again, a touchdown wouldn't win it just yet, but it can give him a big leg up. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run with ETN. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime.
And you can bet when they were in that huddle, there's definitely some urgency because I'm sure they were saying to each other, we got to push this one in right now so we don't have to run this on 4th down, and there'll be extra bodies in the hole. That's excellent work there at the point of attack. All it takes is one little crease as he fights his way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Cleveland offense making their way out.
Sanders throwing to start the drive. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's second down.
Looking to throw. Sanders. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now third down and very long.
Operating from the gun. Sanders. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. Operating from the gun. Sanders.
This one downfield for Tillman.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on fourth down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get
right?
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Cleveland.